Hello and welcome to another episode of Werewolf the Forsaken, the Bitches of Brewery Park here on Dork Tales. Technically, this is not an episode though. This is a behind-the-scenes featurette where we're basically going to do some Chronicle catch-up and do a little mid-season prep work so that we know where the rest of the season's going and answer some, audience questions, hang out with you guys for an hour and a bit, and upgrade some characters and stuff like that, because we realized that we hadn't had any time to really discuss the nature of the plot progression. So, kick everything, Kelly. Just kick it all.
Just boot it.
So anyway, hi guys, how's it going? I'm the storyteller, Kelly, and joining me tonight are the rest of the pack, which we're just going to introduce in zigzag formation, which starting with Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I play Megan Butler, the Uratha Ironmaster. Think for a moment there.
You're right. My sheet's not in front of me because I'm an idiot. But I guess I'm next. Hi, I'm Amy, and normally I play Kate Powers, the Aelidoth Ironmaster, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
You keep
Yeah,
going.
well,
My audio isn't working, so give me just one moment. The audience can hear you. I just can't.
Oh, that's
You
weird.
don't need to hear us. It's fine.
I don't know who's
I have
next.
nothing important to say.
I think it's
That's-
technically Caitlin.
Oh,
so.
sweet.
Because he said
Zigzag.
zigzag, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone. My name is Caitlin, and I usually play Claire Iwatani, the Rahu Ironmaster. And it's only been 2 seasons, and we're still like, I think I play this character. So that's a good start. We're off to a great start.
Great start, yeah. And finally, hi everyone. I'm Jen, and I'm playing, I normally play Brighton, the Kahalith Stormlord. And I always get confused because all 3 of you are Iron Masters, and I am not.
Yep.
Stormlord.
And yet
That's
you're-
actually kind of what's
right?
cemented it in my head is I know 3 of us are Iron Masters. No.
And the Stormlord's the boss.
Yeah.
Well, at least probably. We're gonna figure that out right now.
Working on it.
Ooh, there we go.
Getting there.
Steadily pushing.
So, guys, it's great to have you here tonight. I know that this is kind of a quieter episode because we've all had a bunch of stuff in life that's been really, really busy. Caitlin, you're in the process of a move right now where you can go take a bunch of location shots for us because you're now in the Windy Apple. What is Vancouver?
Green City.
The rainy hipster.
Yes, the rainy
Yeah.
hipster.
So, and then the rest of us are just broken human beings. And I happen to, I managed to like re-sprain my wrist last night in my sleep, which is something I do recreationally every like 4 months.
Oh, it's a good time.
It's honestly, it's not that bad. Actually, it's hell, especially because I'm playing a lot of Hades today, and it's a lot of thumb. So anyway, hi everybody in the chat. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about some things off of my hit list here. We're going to upgrade your characters, and we're going to talk about where you all kind of want the plot to go. Now, I can imagine that some people listening are going to kind of cringe at that idea that, oh, the players should be surprised and everything should be a surprise. Yeah, maybe, but I also do want to like find out what elements of the plot you found the most enjoyable, what you think has the best setup for dramatic tension, and for example, if there are certain elements you don't want to lean into, I want to lean away from those. I'm not going to spoil what's going to happen, and it's still going to happen. No, but actually, yeah, and that part can't stop. That's some evil background stuff. But I want to know where you all stand with the plot and stuff. And one of the first things that I wanted to discuss, and this is actually the main reason for having this behind the scenes session, is there we go. Is that when we decided to do Werewolf, playing the female empowerment angle, playing the a bunch of young werewolves finding themselves and struggling against just everything. But there's quite an anti-patriarchal like undertone to this chronicle, right? I mean, even the person who inducted you in was female, right? And because of that, I have felt a little awkward because of the plot with Adam. Because I realized that I took a game about single werewolf women in the city, and I saddled you with a kid. And I'm like, shit, I did the season 5 mistake from every sitcom ever.
But you shoved into season 2, so it's fine.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's not fine. This is absolute drama clusterfuckery.
Well, it's not meant to be permanent. That's the first thing I wanted to say is I don't expect you to keep the child forever.
I mean, Kate's still not sure if she shouldn't just kill it. So there's that problem.
Claire just wants to avoid it, so there's that.
You can't avoid a
Megan-
kid that's living in your house.
Megan's
You just
definitely got
want
a
her damn
certain amount
best.
of. Okay. No, I don't know.
Are we gonna let Link raise him?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Brighton's gone. Brighton's gone like full mother bear on it, so it's. She's used to the whole taking care of other people thing.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, if you want to turn this into like a fuzzier version of the Mandalorian, we can do that. I would like to see the child.
I mean, we already have oh god, how old is Norma? She's 10 or
Oh.
12?
Norma's.
She's 10. We have a
She's 10.
10-year-old who already has werewolf rages from time to time, so that's
She has
fun.
wolf-blooded rages. That's different.
That's true.
That's true.
So we have some experience dealing with a death rage toddler or
Death rage toddler.
adolescent.
Oh my god.
I really want to
They're
see
really
Death Raging
terrible twos.
toddler right now.
Really, the terrible awoos.
Well, especially
terrible.
since
Terrible woos.
that would pull all of us in.
No, because you're not. Wait, does it do it just on pack or does it all werewolves?
I mean,
That was pack.
Oh.
But you're
it's
not.
like
not
just
bad.
He's not in your pack. You haven't inducted him.
not pack, yeah.
This
That's
is true. Yeah.
And I don't think we would want to induct him right away, but that might be a point of contention unless anyone's really pushing to adopt him into pack.
So Adam is going to be
I
a
want
driving.
the spirit to get him because that seems like a dick move, but
It does, but I also
at the same time, Megan has been adamantly like fighting with her mother over no kids, which
Mm.
is why like she had indulged in like one night stands, which led to that weird fling thing with Chris.
Yeah, that's going in a bad way.
That's
By the way,
going horribly wrong.
that's going to be a dramatic bit.
Fine.
Okay,
she ate him in
so
a not so fun way.
basically what I want to check in is that I think that the Adam story is going to be prevalent over the last. Unfortunately, this season has kind of been divided in a weird way. We're 10 episodes in, and I feel like that honestly should have been like 6-7 episodes. Like I feel like we're like 2/3 of the way through the season, which means that this behind the scenes mid-season thing is a little awkward, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
So I think that he'll be fairly prominent for the next like 4 to 6 episodes, and then you'll have ways to get rid of him. You can also hunt down other packs and be like, your problem.
Here, have a werewolf child.
Hey,
Except we still don't know where he came exactly, like what he is.
Well, and depending actually on what we hear back from Dude Face we talked to last time.
Is that Riley?
yeah, you
About-
asked
he was
Riley
like,
to
I
go
don't
talk.
remember
But he was going to talk to the creepy pack for us, the ones who
The
were
ghost
like,
wolves?
oh. Yes, the ones who are kind of fuck off and leave us alone
Yeah.
types. But they might very well know more about this sort of thing than we do, and they might be accepting of it. Because then we can be like, here, have a created child.
The thing is, Brighton will refuse to abandon the kid. So it has to be like a good plan that we have, or that we
Yeah.
have to kill him. Those are the only two options she will consider.
Oh, okay.
That
I mean, or the
is-
other.
She won't
Fair.
want to kill
Gotcha.
him, but she's not going to abandon a child because she refuses to do that.
Now, quick reminder
So-
that
We need a handoff plan.
Yes.
yeah, he's a football. Hand him away.
Yes.
For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is going to be an awkward conversation. We're just talking about killing kids all over the place. Basically, the werewolf pack got saddled with a small child that may or may not be a baby werewolf who's having problems.
Even the loons don't want anything to do with
The
him.
loons do not want anything to do with this. Did they take killing a werewolf out? Because killing a werewolf used to be a really, really powerful sin. So
It's
I thought it's
Still,
still the same.
isn't it still one of the oaths of the moon?
oh
think
yeah,
so.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
They just took
So
out.
it's yeah.
Cool. All right, so yeah, it's going to cause a problem. It's a werewolf kid. It is. It's not even a teen wolf. It's a toddler wolf.
Yeah, it's small and scary.
And feral, yeah.
But also kind of adorable.
In a
very angelic sort of way.
Yeah.
He's got like blonde curls and chubby cheeks. He's like angelically adorable, and it's freaking me out.
Yeah.
It didn't help that we met him when he was like super sleepy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't plan that on purpose. Do you? So should I put in like a creepy Werner Herzog character?
I don't know what that means.
I would like to see the child.
Oh,
Werner Herzog, the director who was in the beginning of The Mandalorian.
I haven't seen The Mandalorian.
Holy shit, Jen! Oh my god, I'm not judging you, but
Yeah,
if you need a Disney Plus account, talk to me after. Oh, do you?
I cannot watch new TV right now.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't have the attention span for it.
Nice. When you do have the attention span, put that high up on the list because, like, it's
best Star Wars.
It's honestly like super good. Like
it's high on my list.
Nice.
I just
you got stuff.
Yeah.
But and like Lucifer from Devilman. That's the last we're talking about Devilman here because Christine hasn't seen it, and I still have to force you to watch Devilman Crybaby because it is a trip.
It's something.
It is. You know what? It is a phenomenal piece of media.
I think
that
I
is
watched it in one sitting.
It's me too, and it's like every trigger warning in the book with checklist, but at the same point, it has deep philosophical ramifications, and it's like it's the most triggeriest philosophy text there is, except for the Bible.
Oh. I haven't actually seen it either, but I probably should.
Yeah, I mean, so long as you know going into it that there's some stuff in it.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in it.
But the I would say that don't look up anything about it because it actually had like one of the only endings that's ever like surprised me in a piece of media where I was like, oh shit. And it ends like super powerfully. Would suggest. I know it's not Amy's scene.
No, I've watched all of it. I would actually highly recommend it, but
okay, because you're doing your God no face.
Yeah, I would rewatch it, but God no.
Yeah, let's rewatch it with Christine. That's when we can hang out.
The middle of season 4 of Mr. Robot, like just.
Man, Mr. Robot, like I'm still not sure if they stuck the landing, but we should talk about that after this.
Yeah.
Like I liked it, but I felt like that was a lot of like 11th hour. By the way,
I would if you leave the last episode behind, kind of last couple episodes.
Yeah. It's great because the second to last episode is just like a seeking. It's like Elliot needs more Uratha. Let's put him on a seeking. Because that show is literally Mage. If you guys have any, if you ever want to watch a show that's literally Mage the Ascension, it's just that.
Dealing with the frickin' syndicate and...
Yeah, it's about a virtual adept with really low Uratha or really high Uratha. He's not sure. It depends on the mood. Teaming up with his avatar to go like fight the technocracy. And his avatar is Christian Slater.
Basically, yeah. That's a really good way of summarizing it. And that's what I thought the whole way through it was like, Kelly, you need to watch this fucking show!
It was, because episode one's a little slow, but pretty much every episode of that picks up. Plus, it has Meryl Streep's daughter in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, also very attractive. She's like a young Meryl Streep. It's great. Which, yeah, I like it. Anyway, so let's talk about Werewolf. So guys, think about this overall. What about your personal plots and about the overall plot are you the most interested in? And what are you kind of like, take it or leave it? So let's do overall first while you also think about your own personal plots. So overall, I think I'm hearing Caitlin's computer, but it sounded like a wolf howling for a minute, and I was really confused.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just closed everything, so it should be less.
Thank you so much. Is it Kilseren? Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Oh, sorry. Someone just resubscribed and said that they really enjoy watching us play RPGs, and I really appreciate you too. Thank you. That feels really nice. I'm sorry we're not actually playing tonight, and we're just plotting tonight. But you can check us tomorrow out with Rime of the Frostmaiden, which is going full steam ahead.
We're on Sunday. Jesus, my brain's
we're
like,
on
it's
Sunday.
Wednesday.
We're on Sunday. And your birthday's Tuesday. So like, and I'm gonna force feed you pancakes.
That's.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna buy them for you. You can feed them. You can feed yourself. I would like to see the cakes. Okay, so what major plots do we have right now? So the major plots that I see are Baby, but he's his own plot line. He's
The
section.
kid, the cult.
The kid.
Oh,
Do you want to keep the cult? Like, is the
I
what do you-
like the cult.
I do enjoy
I'm
it,
terrified of the cult.
I
But
love the cult.
for
cult
dramatic
heart?
purposes, yes, absolutely keep the cult. But also, Kate definitely doesn't trust any of them and wants nothing to do with them.
though. Yeah, Claire's
Same.
super weirded out, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Who doesn't want to be
It's
worshipped?
just like, wait, you can subvert where what?
Because you gotta have faith. Ooh, yeah. You gotta have faith. The faith.
It's like, oh.
What do you think going forward? What about
Still the White Agora,
yeah, there's still White Agora.
True.
which is a big problem still.
Yes.
There's still
Yeah.
the Pure.
Yeah.
Always a problem.
There's still kind of the Bechelou, but those are kind of like they're kind of like the Rita Repulsa's putties
Yeah.
until you
I
get
would
like
like
third.
to tie off the woman a bit more firmly, because like we kind of have it figured out of like, okay, obviously they were trying to find the kid,
Oh, you're talking about Felicia Boyle and the all that.
but I feel like we didn't really 100% tie that off. Like, who were those people? I'm guessing they were associated with the spirit, but
Yeah, like why the heck did we even end up with a spirit parent thing in the first place?
I'm not sure
So there was
how
the-
we can tie it off,
so-
but
Yeah, because there was the
It kinda
suggestion
feels like
that
it's
maybe it
linked
was
into a
someone
new
in a
plot.
coma.
Hmm.
Because it was like if maybe they took over a coma body, and it's like, well, who would that be?
Hmm.
Who was it? It might not matter, but it's
Mhm.
gonna bother me. That's
That's
for
fair.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then what else do we have? So we also have
Is
that.
that
Just me,
stuff?
or does the name Adam as like a small child just seem? I don't know. My
I don't
brain's
know. I
like,
kind of went basic with it when I was picking a name, right? I
well,
was
my
just
brain
like,
was thinking like Adam Warlock or like so
Yep.
on and so forth, and my brain's like, this is just ringing all the alarm bells of this is bad.
Same.
okay,
a
good.
small
Then I was
child
doing
named
doing
Adam.
my job.
I do
Yeah.
just.
What's your
named
last
it a
name? Cadman. What? Adam Cadman was the first human. For those of you who don't know, this has been your Sephiroth ASMR.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Clip Off ASMR. No.
Oh my
Okay. So we got Felicia Boy. We got that mystery. We have what other big plots are? There's Val, of course.
Mhm.
yeah.
And then
Whatever's
Police
going on
officer
with.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Because didn't we get like whispered, or somebody got something saying basically like it wasn't what we thought it was?
I think
Or
so.
was that?
I seem to recall something being said about like
Was that season?
he wasn't necessarily there to hurt us. He was there to meet and
Oh.
talk to us
We
because
never actually talked to Ross about it. About what was actually going on with the captain.
Yeah, 'cause I
Right.
seem to recall there being some line being said to somebody at some point of like it wasn't what we thought it was, essentially.
Hmm.
I
Like,
think
there was
that was
more
when
there.
Ross was calling us from the hospital,
Maybe.
and then he was like, "I'll talk to you guys about it later," kind of thing.
Yep. And then you didn't
Yeah.
talk. You just made out on the couch.
Yeah.
Priorities are priorities, guys.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I basically wanted that to be a whole scene with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think as player or as characters, only Caitlin knows it. The rest of us just know it as players.
Yeah.
All right. So.
But
Okay.
I don't think it was said to all of us.
Yeah. Then just make sure that it comes up in plot.
Okay.
I charge you with that, Caitlin.
okay.
So make sure
Got
it's clear. What about personal plots? So what personal plots we have? Let's.
I don't know if it counts as like an overarching plot, but whatever was going on with Nick, and the weird file he had.
Nick and RD13.
Yes, Nick and
Okay.
RD13.
Yep, that's not a big plot or anything like that. I guarantee that it's not. You should just forget about it right now. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. How are you? Okay, so
Suspicious.
and if you
Very
think of any more,
suspicious.
if you think of any more overarching plots, are any of those plots trash? In your opinion, are any of them where you kind of look at it and you're like, oh god, we're playing this part of the game again?
Not particularly. Like, it's all these little threads of like, ooh, I'm curious, I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like. I think the problem is I don't know where you're going with it, so I don't know how big or not it is. Like, obviously, if it's something minor that is just kind of flavored, don't let us spend forever on it.
Okay, here you guys
Like-
want the honest truth about
Yeah.
the non-spoiler. Every one of these plots is as big of a plot as it would have been had this been one of my LARPs.
Okay.
Which means that about 80% of them also are interlocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, they're also designed so that they can be shed like scales if they suck. Little trick, guys, if you're writing a story, have most of your plots interlock, but have a lot of them be expendable in case you find out later that they were a dumb idea and no one liked them. You're like, yeah, that was just the thing that we don't talk about anymore. So flexibility when you're plotting is incredibly important.
I don't think any of them suck, but I think what we're doing is we're doing all this, like, I wouldn't call it side quests, but we're opening up a new quest line and opening up a new quest line and opening up a new quest line,
Yeah.
which they
Without
all
finish-
maybe all interlock at some place. But we're opening up so many new quest lines.
You get kinda
okay.
lost.
I'm
So much
losing
on-
track.
on our
Okay, so I
plate.
Witcher 3 do?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
A little
Possibly.
bit.
I don't
Maybe I Witcher 2
Yeah.
do.
Well, I mean, what you did is you know, worked it out kind of like your LARPs, where you might have 3 years with your LARPs, you don't have 3 years with us here.
Necessarily.
So,
I
Or at least we
might.
haven't yet planned for it.
well, not in this season.
Not in this
That's
season,
true.
no, that's true.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like the White Agora plot just feels a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, she seems so tough when we went and got Nick that I'm a little like, I don't think we can do this.
Like, that one's kind of like on the background, at least in my mind, of we need to do something about it. We need to work towards doing something about it. I just don't know how or what steps should be taken or who we
Okay.
can truly talk to about it.
Yeah.
I honestly
Yeah.
feel like that's one of the closest ones you are to solving.
Damn it!
Okay.
See that, but that's the difference between you and me, right? Like I'm
Mm.
seeing my side, and I'm like, well, in theory, you could just go kick its ass.
And
Like,
we're
it's-
just like,
I think we don't feel like we can kick its ass.
Let me
Yeah,
check
we do
and
not feel
see
ready for
whether or
that.
not you can kick its ass. Okay.
it grabbed Amy so easily that we were kind of like,
You guys, for one, you were in the material world,
Because
'Cause
we
you-
needed to get Nick
Yeah.
specifically.
so
Yeah.
you weren't anywhere where you could actually affect it. It's tough.
Mhm.
It's also. I would remind you out of character that I'm pretty sure that Amy dramatically failed that role.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she did.
Think,
I don't-
yeah, I
I
rolled.
think you-
I botched it. I think I did badly, and then I chose to dramatically
Yeah,
fail.
you
that
failed.
One, if not that one, then the ones to come back out of it.
Yeah. So a lot of that was
Minions we dealt
compounded.
with, but
The minions.
Yeah.
So
Those are spooky.
this thing, it's one of those fights where if you're fighting just it, you could probably get out without anybody being hurt too terribly badly. But if it had minions, you would risk losing a person, but would be able to defeat it. So, like, basically, it's a boss fight.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say there.
Gotta know when to take out the ads.
Yeah. So, but that also means that you can negotiate. You could try to find another solution. I've been trying to find a way to. When I've been developing the character, I've been looking into that it's a creature that works with isolation,
Mm-hmm.
and we're in the middle of a pandemic. However, so what I've been doing is I've been kind of assuming that her rank is based off of like the COVID situation in Vancouver as it escalated through March and April, and how the isolation was super strict.
Mhm.
With a time jump, guys, we are going into like June or July or August when people were violating COVID restrictions like crazy, which means
True.
that she
we're
might
not
be
feeling
weaker.
isolated.
A lot of them won't. Like she'll have like her batteries of people that she's isolated and is draining off of them. But depending on how many months we go into the future, like that is not going to be as big of a deal. Because for those of you who aren't in Canada right now, basically, Canada's been really good with the whole COVID situation overall. Well, most of it. It's been better than it has been in other countries. But in Vancouver, it was like really bad for a couple months, and then it was like, it's all right. And then it kind of like started spiking up again, and we're kind of in our second wave right now. So actually, Vancouver's under lockdown right now. So like gyms are closed, most restaurants are takeout only and stuff like that, right?
Not really.
Oh no, just
it's
gyms.
basically just a ban on household parties and getting together with like people outside, but I don't think businesses are quite affected quite yet.
Yeah, I think they're being really tense about that, I guess, because of last time, right? Because they're like, oh, that was such an economic hit.
Yeah. So they're more hesitant to close them all down this time.
Yeah, that's fair. Of course, that means that most of you will have your jobs back.
Well, there's also the provision of that they just put in now of like any businesses that are open, they need to have like screening for every employee who comes to on shift. So it's like I don't know how they're going to even implement that for every business if you want to stay open. So it's like, all right, if you have even the mildest case of sniffles, I guess you go home.
Unless you work in the food industry, in which case you still go to work because you don't make enough money. Sorry, I've worked food.
Retail. Same.
Or retail, yeah. Food or retail, you just get yelled at. It seems worse with food though, because that's the one where you should be able to call in sick no matter what. Because you're even like retail.
Work for a Japanese family-owned business.
That's true. Your business when you work.
Like, oh, just go home and feel better.
Yeah,
just feel better.
Because
let me know when you're ready to come back.
And because of that, you never lied to them about anything, because you're just like, oh, if I'm feeling sick, I'll just be honest about it, and they'll respect me.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine having your employees
there coughing on sushi.
Yeah. Do not cough on sushi. I'm gonna write a note.
God.
Cough on sushi. Okay.
Well, I think they had enough rotating staff anyways that they could cover pretty easily.
So personal plots. Megan, we've got Chris.
Yes.
That's a personal plot. Megan, what other plots do we have for you? So you've got your business, and that's about it. So like Chris being a doctor. Those are your only plots right now.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm not 100% sure. I know we've talked about basically like one of her things is having not a great relationship with her mom and stepdad.
Okay, so you want some parent drama.
So she's got I think she's got that weird thing where her spirit touchdown is like the buddy spirit.
Yeah. Which
looks like her father, and her flesh is her like parent.
Mm-hmm.
So she's being tugged between the two parents, essentially. Between flesh and spirit.
Okay. So I can play that up if you want.
So I'm fine with having that come in. I know it hadn't really come in yet. I wouldn't mind trying to do something with the brother.
Okay.
Pull him in a bit more. I'm not really sure what.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to have like a ton of like acrimonious stuff, just because that gets stressful and frustrating and hard to deal with.
Yeah, and it also is just kind of distracting, right?
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part, is that I don't want all of your plots to be separate from the main entity, right? Because then it's just a bunch of like vignettes where I go off with each one of you and run a scene, and then you all come back and go punch a monster, and that's the episode, right? And I think that was one of the weaknesses of season 1, is that you were all very divided. Whereas season 2, you've been more united, but you haven't. I've been throwing more plots at you, rather.
Yeah, I mean, we had pulled Daniel in to do with the White Agora a bit. So potentially he could be involved in that. Because he's already kind of recognized it, so we could kind of have him like trolling the chat boards or something to see about weird isolation cases or something. Maybe he could be narrowing down areas where we might find her to like fight her.
Sure, I mean that could. On this point though, let's focus more on like the personal plots you want to pursue rather than NPCs. I've got a column for that on my sheet that I want to come back to.
Well, I was just thinking because that gives me interaction with the brother.
That's fair.
Character.
Okay.
And so we could always go from there on some relationship story. I don't know.
Okay. Kate, we've got Addie,
Mhm.
and you trying to hook back up with your ex. So that's
That
that-
awkwardness in general.
and that you want to keep that rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, that ball's gonna keep rolling. And then you've got weird family dynamics.
It's fun times.
Uh,
We're still just pretending that Kate is probably having not good coping with this whole maybe Brighton is sibling. We're just
Okay.
gonna not address that. We're just never gonna talk about it ever. It's
Nope.
never gonna come up ever
Brighton is
because-
fully ignoring it.
because
Okay.
Kate already has a family.
You're weak.
I mean, then there's your pack. That's different.
Okay, so what else besides family dynamics and Addie do you have going?
No, she's very much been throwing without having like a job to focus on or anything like that. I mean, she's got the drama with Marissa, having
Mhm.
promised to deal with the pure and all that, and make them pay, but hasn't really been touching on that too much.
Well, it's only been a day since you
Um,
made that promise, so I think you've got time.
Plus time skip.
So it's time skip, so we can work on that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that sounds like about from you. Claire. So Claire, you're looking for your family.
Yep.
What kind of drama would you like to have happen there, or do you want to be surprised?
I think I'd like to be surprised.
Okay, so what I need from you then is any details that you have thought up about that family. So we've got your mom's name, so like Olivia, and anything else about her that you have brainstormed, and I'll fill in the rest of the gaps.
Sounds good.
Okay. What else is going on in? So you've kind of got like a pseudo relationship with, or a thing with Ross,
Yeah.
but how are you feeling about that?
I don't know. I like it. I like it kind of just being a thing in the background at the moment, just because we have had so much spotlight with Ross, but I think we should bring him back at least one more time, like fully there, to talk with everybody,
Mm-hmm.
which was the idea.
Hmm.
Okay. So is there any other plot besides Gina? I guess Gina's the other big one for you.
Juna's the other big one. We did touch on Mareka, if we wanted to have her do something. I don't know.
Yeah. Marika's got some stuff we can do soon.
Yeah.
Too. So that seems like that's pretty much it for you. Brighton, so we've got the house situation, which is mostly resolved at this point, but I kind of think the house situation kind of encompasses like everything involving that, including Scummy McScum,
True facts.
or
yeah.
whatever his name was.
It's Scummy McScum. That's fine.
Was it just Scummy McScum?
Scummy
Was that his
McScummy.
Christian name?
He
Yeah.
had a name. I don't remember what it was.
It's written down somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah.
Dodeki Werewolf Rumble. Pennywolf. They all howl down here. Why do I have these in my notes?
Nice.
Riley's a great character to talk to. Okay.
What the balls? How did you know her weakness was murder?
Yep, I've got that one written down too. I think. Yeah.
Okay. My notes are banned.
I also have curbside package delivery.
God.
Oh, that guy. Why isn't that guy in your pack?
That was ridiculous.
That guy's based off a
named
guy I
NPC.
used to
His
work
name's
with.
Roger.
Oh yeah, Rod. Oh yeah, because he's
Roger.
cousin Roger, not Uncle Roger.
So he could come back. It's up to you.
You could buy him as a pack member. Go ahead. Have like a ferociously metrosexual Korean man as your pack member.
Hell yeah.
Just ferocious. He's pretty great. He really is just a guy I used to work with. Basically was just like this Indochino model who, yeah, anyway, it's a long story. Neat guy. Okay, so house junk. What else is going on with Brighton besides alpha dynamics and alpha plotting? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
Alpha
That's pretty much
shiz.
it.
Okay. Shiz. Okay, so guys, what I want you to do is brainstorm in your head right now. I need you to think of I want you to think of a couple. It can be one, it can be as many as 3 NPCs that we have dealt with in this season that you want to see more of. And I also want you to think of a couple that you just want to toss off a bridge. You're just like, if I see this NPC again this season, oh my god, I don't want to deal with them. And if you don't have one, it's fine. Okay? But if you have a piece of paper, jot them down, because we're going to do a big dramatic reveal, and I'm going to write them down and try to do a ranker system. If you don't have a piece of paper, just be legit in a minute.
I have a notepad.
All right.
Okay, so NPC we want to see more of, and NPC we don't want to see more of.
Yeah, we did a pre-season poll, but I'm not sure if those are still there. Because that was when you guys were like, I want less Nick, and I'm like, fine, Agorad.
Oh no!
We did this to him.
You did this.
We
Oh, hey,
these
it's
guys.
Bunny Hearted. Hello, Bunny Hearted. How are you? We're doing a werewolf talk. We're talking about
chatting.
werewolves and talking about being werewolves.
Ow.
Bunny Hearted, you do a lot of VR chat. Do you have a werewolf skin on your VR chat? Because I will come over there and I will werewolf in your place. Okay.
Careful, that's how you get wolves.
Well, it's good to see you. You should come by tomorrow and see Rhyme too. Ooh. All right. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and do this in reverse order? Bryden, who do you hate? Who do you love?
Sorry, my brain just stopped thinking when you started talking to Bunny Hearted.
That's fair. All right, so want me to switch to someone else?
Yeah, please.
Okay, Amy, I'm picking on you.
I don't know. I feel like we haven't had enough of any of our NPCs.
What? Okay.
Like,
I want more cult. That's what I want more of.
Okay.
Hey,
Cult.
that was my answer too.
Okay, Cult is in the plus
I
category.
mean, I like Riley a lot. He's funny. But that was more just like convenience and reaching out.
Riley is a friend of convenience.
I do like Megan's brother a lot, and also the fact that Carly is apparently getting friendly with him.
Getting a leg up.
Or both, like she's flexible.
And after a couple months or time break, she's probably healed.
But her heart won't be when he... Oh god, can you imagine
If he
pack
breaks
members...
her heart,
You'll break his heart?
I will!
Just rip
Megan
it out.
might end up breaking you then.
This is gonna be a
Oh, this is
dramatic
just
fallout.
great. This is great interpack drama.
Interpack drama because yeah.
All right. So, do you like Daniel? You like who don't you like? Who should get awooed off a bridge? Awoo!
I don't want to punt Gina. As much as I love Gina, I kind of want to just throttle her.
Okay. I mean, that's good. That means I'm doing my job, right? So that's good.
Because Kate wants to look after her and desperately wants them back in touch, but Amy would like to have her punted off a bridge. And
Alright.
then, rescued from the water and brought back into the fold. That isn't going to happen because she was on the line.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Caitlin.
Thanks.
Okay, so I was thinking less of Ross, even though we haven't seen him at all, but I'm thinking just like shove him further in the back him back one time.
Go away, man.
and then just have him go away. And then I would also said less of Gina.
I'll just put 2 check marks next to Gina.
Yeah, we could, yeah.
We've kind of done
Have
that now.
kinda...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of good.
Hmm.
And then more of Cult as well.
Okay, so Colt.
And I like Nick, so I want a little bit more of him now that we've.
Well,
That's fair.
now that he's back in the field,
plot with him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nick plot.
All right,
Nick is a plot
I think
right now.
I think
That's
it
my
wasn't
answer.
necessarily that we didn't want Nick. It was just that we'd had a
It
lot of
would've
him.
That's
it
true.
would have been
Time
so
to share
focused
the
on him
screen.
before.
Time to Nick. You didn't Nick Lack. Nick
What?
Knack? I don't know. Okay, cool. And so Christine.
Okay. So for more, I agree with Cult and Nick. I also wouldn't mind seeing a bit more of like Riley, because he's been a pretty cool contact among the
Yeah.
werewolves.
Okay, so
Not like a lot more, but maybe 1 or 2 more scenes, sort of thing. Just because
Okay.
he's entertaining, and I quite enjoyed that conversation and back and forth with him.
He's a cool guy.
The kind of the rapport.
What does he do for a living? I don't remember.
For less, I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm. If there's nobody
We've had
that...
quite a few people, so I don't really specifically feel like there's anyone that we just have had way too much of, besides potentially like I feel like we've kind of closed off the plot fairly well for now with Gina. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more to close off the plot with Chris and then dropping him. For the most part, I feel like maybe, but I feel like that could be narrated from the downtime because Megan's gonna basically phase that out.
Okay, I'll cover that in some of the side fiction. Okay.
So that would be cool. But I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that really bugged me.
And so Jen, back to you.
I had cult. That was basically it.
Okay, so that's 4 checks for cult. Is there anybody you don't like?
I honestly can't remember like any NPCs right now.
Besides douchey real estate guy.
Douchey real estate guy.
But
whose name is not
out of character, or in character I want to throw him off a bridge. Out of character I'm like, I kind of want to have more of him because I can just throw him off a bridge.
You guys will end up getting married if that. Seth Ballard from Ballard and Bray.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a name.
Seth. I'll put Seth.
And I like how I want to put like Link's now living in the den, so Link is just like an ongoing NPC of please entertainment.
And Captain Mr. Sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
And Daisy.
More Captain Mr. Sausage.
More Captain Mr. Sausage and Daisy.
Yes, please.
Good
Yeah.
doggo and Cato.
Yeah.
Oh, and personally, I would love to see Adam really pissing Claire off, and Claire being like, "What the fuck?" But Claire would not.
Yeah.
Make Claire angry face.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so going into stuff.
Weaponize the child.
Weaponize. I would like to pull the pin on the child.
Oh my God.
Just shake the baby up and throw it into a room of Bechalou and to see what happens.
That's some terrifying death rage.
Oh my god.
He's a toddler. You can shake him. I don't. He's a werewolf toddler. You can shake him. He heals a bashing
That's
every
more
round.
accurate.
He's a werewolf.
He's an inhuman monster shaped like a child. Like, just do what you want.
And you know that like children will like hit the ground and like bounce. So like, what's a werewolf child gonna do?
You ever thrown a Super Bowl somewhere?
Yeah,
exactly. Fight the ground.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
That sounds terrifying.
Where do we even keep it?
I like that we're referring to him as it. I'm enjoying that.
It's Pennywolf.
The child it.
The child it. What, baby Pennywise?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask you another fun question. In your head, I need you to think of the number 1 other supernatural creature type that you do want the pack to interact with, and then the one that you don't under any circumstances want them to interact with. Or just one of them, because there are multiple options. I don't think mummies count. I'm going to leave mummies out of this. I don't think they count. So if you picked a mummy on either side, unless you want mummies, I'll allow you to want mummies, but not wanting mummies. Vancouver doesn't really have any mummies. You got like the 2. And they're just a bunch. I really want to run a game with a bunch of guys that's just a bunch of mummies who are called themselves the daddies, and they're a bunch of like in their 40s white dudes that hang out on couches.
Oh my goodness.
They're just like, they go around, they have barbecues, and like, you know, they're just a bunch of like guys having midlife crises in the middle of their eternities. Sorry. I'm just thinking of that Brendan Fraser shirt I really want.
Oh.
Mummy? Did you mean the daddy? No. So revenants, so soul element revenants are like, they're not really a thing in Chronicles of Darkness. Like, they kind of are. Vampire has a few different versions of the revenant idea. And for players listening right now, revenants are kind of like similar to like the Crow is the easiest way. Like, they killed him, but he came back for revenge, and he's pretty much invincible until he gets it, right? Like those type of like undead, not a vampire, but dead. Yeah, not a vampire on a diet, basically. Like, no blood, much rage. But there are sin eaters. Sin eaters are a thing. Sin eaters are a weird thing.
Let's see, things I would like to see.
All right, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
That was easy.
Changeling and mage are the obvious ones. To some extent, the vampires in the city are somewhat entertaining.
Okay, you can't just list all the splats.
I can't just list all of them, no.
I mean, you can.
But
You can't.
I would be more interested in seeing the changelings than
Okay.
I am the
Mages.
vampires.
Sounds good. And what don't you want to see?
I mean, I kind of want to see all of them, but like in order of like changeling first, then maybe vampire and mage are kind of on a similar level, depending on which angle you take them. I don't know.
Okay.
And then I don't much care for like the other splats.
Just all of them in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Jen.
See, I'm not a big fan of the changelings, so I'd say I don't want to see the changelings. But I would like to see like hunters.
I forgot about hunters.
Yeah, you can't
Right.
forget about hunters.
Forgot about hunters.
Have the Chiron group show up and just be like, I would like to see the child.
How about no? They're
I'm just
No,
going.
but-
terrifying.
But he
It's,
needs.
don't you want to have a banality worm? It
He-
just snuggles around your heart and
It's-
squeezes.
It's very good. I just need a little sample of his toes.
Oh.
Just a couple of them. They.
Did not like.
I had that one character in
They-
Hunter that had that. Was it a werewolf patch or whatever? Or she had the werewolf claws. I think.
You had a lot of things.
She was not very human by the end of it, I don't think.
Nope, not even a little bit. Okay, so less changeling, more hunters. Caitlin.
Yeah, I have this soft spot for changelings, but I'm okay if they don't show up.
Okay.
I would like to see hunters. I feel like vampires show up in everything that's not vampire.
Yeah, they're pretty
Anyway.
easy.
They just kind of happen, so I maybe prefer to steer away from that. And I think I'd maybe prefer to steer away from mages.
Okay.
So like hunters and changelings.
Okay. And Christine.
So I wouldn't mind seeing changeling just because it's already been seeded and that was kind of cool. Not necessarily that we have to like actually interact much, but that could be a cool mystery
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to be involved because we don't really know anything about them yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we've kind of had some indications of this weird thing sort of thing going on. I'm not too interested in seeing much else particularly. I feel like there's already so much going on that
Maybe a
we're
little
running
much.
into
Okay.
Yeah.
that we don't necessarily need to branch out to keep interesting. I don't particularly enjoy vampire to begin with, so
Vampire. Well, Requiems.
I want to love it.
but also I know just
Yeah,
how awfully
ya.
destructive mages are, and I don't necessarily want to go up against them.
Might be why I said that.
That said, though, I honestly don't mind having stuff seeded, like little interactions that don't necessarily go anywhere.
Yeah, I tried to do that with changeling. So.
Like the fun little hints of like, hey, remember this character, guys?
Yeah.
That's
And I
always kind of
mean-
fun. I enjoy that. But
And you did seed a bit of mage too,
Did I?
just towards the end there. Yeah, you mentioned that there was like a weird, like a huge tattooed man, and you said it
Oh,
was
you're right. You're right.
Wayland
You're right. I
from
totally did.
The Crucible Cabal. So whether or not how that turns up, because apparently he's been asking around about stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would. He would.
Hmm.
Troublemaker. All right, cool.
Damn it, Wayland.
Damn it, Wayland. One of these days, you're going to get a speaking role. He's just always like a big dude in the background of scenes, and he's only ever spoken in like fiction. It's frustrating. Speaking of fiction, how's that working? Should I keep doing it or should I kill it?
I like
I
it.
I
love
quite
it.
enjoy
Okay.
it.
Damn
Yeah.
it. Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Alright.
Sorry to give you more work.
Oh, God. You know what? I always impress myself because they always turn out okay, and I always write them 5 minutes before game. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do the thing.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Oh god! Or I'm like, guys, do
Oh,
a sound
God.
check. Talk. Make sure I can hear you. Cool. 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 Cool.
Time
Cool.
to go right.
I'm writing while you're doing the sound check. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's good.
It's all good. I mean, I like it because it's a way to get some lore without having to like play it out per se and take forever. Because we would take bloody forever.
Oh yeah.
Actually like playing it out. So getting a little bit of just like, here's what's occurred is
That's true.
much more nice and concise, and it means we can get through and like seed a bit more information
So
too. And it's kind of mysterious and interesting. It's like, is that, wait, what happened?
So let's talk about some time jump then.
Mhm.
So last game was on April 10th. I promised Caitlin that we would have a full moon at the beginning of the next jump. So I've pulled up a full moon chart, and we're looking at May 7th, June 5th, July 4th, or August 3rd.
So how long do we want to skip then, I guess?
I think that it needs to be at least a month. So basically we need to be at least, well, I mean, that I just listed all of them by month. I feel like August 3rd's a little too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like July or June is the sweet spot. 2 months or 3 months with a baby? 2 months?
Probably 2 months.
2 months is
'cause
enough
by
that it's
then
still...
we're more than ready to just pass it off onto whatever opportunity we can get.
Get rid of it, please.
So June... What is that? 5th? Okay, cool. Cool, then I don't have to... Ooh, or we can go up to Canada Day. And the giant Canada Day celebrations in Vancouver that caused the second wave to begin. June it is. June it is.
Yeah.
When people were being sensible. Okay, so we're going to be resuming on June 5th. Sounds good. All right, guys. I think that's all I wanted to talk about in terms of talky talk.
Mhm.
So what I want to do now is I want to upgrade your pack. So using the pack sheet we have here, you have 8 experience and 4 beats. But because of tonight, I am just going to round that up to 9 experiences. To be nice. Okay, so it's just going to be 9 experiences. Here's what you have on your sheet presently. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to send the chat a message with this in it real quick, just so that you guys all have a copy of it.
Yep.
Make sure there's no spoilers on here. Cool, there's not. Okay, and boop. Okay, so looking at the pack, what we need to do is look at buying some stuff. Presently, you have Magnanimous Totem 2, you have Den 4, you have Safe Place 1, you have Dedicated Locus 2. You also have the Complication New Pack, which... Actually, would that have given you any more beats this chronicle so far, or the season so far? Let's see. Complications, boop, 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 resist temptation to make it easy to overcome. How many times do you think that's really caused you drama in this season?
Being a new pack?
Yeah.
Not too often, I would say, because it was more the end of last season or beginning of the season when we had issues with the other packs a bit.
I think it's happened a couple of times. So, Reclaim No Wolf's Land is one of your aspirations, and aspirations here are worth what? They're worth a beat? You award scenes. See, I haven't been keeping track of this alternate system very well. So, pack aspirations change when the pack fulfills the previous aspiration. Storyteller should award beats where the scene members work toward the aspirations, whether or not they make significant. You know what? I think that between that and new pack, let's say you have 10 experiences. Okay? Because you probably had enough to milk 5 out of that throughout the 10 sessions. So with that, I want you to think about what you want, because tactics are also something that you can buy. Presently, you have Hit and Run, which is a tactic that costs you, I think, 5 experiences? Something like that? Let's see how much they cost. So Hit and Run cost a certain amount. So it's modular, right? I think it was a 3 or a 4 point. So, basically, they cost the level that they get. So, new tactics. If you guys wanted any of those, the 3 that they have, just to give you a sense of what they had before. Animal magnetism. You move through a crowd like sharks circling your prey. Basically, you become the center of attention, and you improve social maneuvering first impressions by 1 step. So that's kind of good. Like you show up on the scene, you make a splash. Not necessarily this pack, but it's a good idea. All Alone, which is one that isolates prey, and what it does is it inflicts the paranoid condition, and weakens social maneuvering first impressions by 1 step for the scene.
For us?
I think on them, actually. Yeah, their friends don't listen to them.
Okay, so it's sort of like my isolating condition
Basically,
that I
right?
can inflict. Yeah.
Yep.
But on a
And then
larger
Overkill
scale.
is the larger version of Hit and Run, which you already have. Overkill is the one where it takes somebody's defense away for the next turn or your next action.
Okay.
Which, actually, in theory, you could just pay 2 XP to upgrade your previous one too.
I am kind of down with that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, how upgrade it? How?
Basically, like, I think the previous one cost you 3 experiences. This costs 5. So you pay 2
I
experience.
mean,
So
what
the-
would we get?
So the difference
Yeah.
is presently it's strength plus brawl minus stamina. If you succeed, you have their defense on the next round. This one basically takes away the entire defense, and the primary actor adds 2 points of lethal damage if you're successful.
I like that.
It's basically just a superpowered version for 2 experience.
As a strength and brawl character, I really enjoy that.
It's true, yeah. But
So-
I like that for 2. But I mean, maybe we should just be like, okay, earmark 2 for that, but let's see what else in case we want to
Yeah.
build something big.
Okay. So you can also build basically any tactic, right? So the way that tactics work is that it costs 1 for a single benefit on a success, and then you get a secondary thing on an exceptional success. Tactics that inflict greater effects cost more. So it costs for every 2 targets that it affects. It's a +1 to the value. For every increased effect, it is another +1 to the total. If it requires fewer pack mates, whatever. And then if the prey only uses their resistant attribute, so instead of rolling like stamina and primal urge, they just roll stamina. Then it's a +2. If the prey cannot resist, it is a +3. So it's more expensive, but damn, it's nice when the prey doesn't get a roll and you just have a power that works. So some things that they could do are add or subtract a couple of dice from an action or dice pool.
Okay.
Add or remove doors in social maneuvering. Shift impressions in social maneuvering. Count a specific action as an advanced action. Basically, give a roll advantage. Roll twice, take the better roll. Count half of the secondary actor's dice pools as successes instead of rolling in a teamwork action. That's broken as shit.
Oh shit!
So basically, Jen, you're the primary actor. You have 6 dice to your pool. Everybody else has 4 dice in their pool. Instead of having them roll and take their successes, you just assume they rolled half successes.
Wait, so that would be for any teamwork roll? So my
We might want to revisit that because that seems a little. Well, how many points does that merit?
it's a 5-point merit. My
Is
pack
it-
dynamics. It's
is
5
it?
points. It only gives me +3 dice though. So
So I guess yeah. So that
it
would
still means it would just.
So for
give
your
more dice
roll, that
as
would
opposed
be
to-
it would probably if your pool was
Depends on my pool.
odd, it would be 2 points. If it was even, it'd be 1 point. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be fine. So have
Still
an
kinda cool.
enemy's defense for 1 turn or ignore it for 1 attack. Add a success to a roll that's already successful. Apply a specific condition or tilt. So something like leg rack, blind, deaf, any. Sound like there was a bottle rocket going off somewhere. And then apply a persistent condition, cost double, but is there. There's also a little note here. An asterisk can be chosen a second time. Maybe chosen twice. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's also ones where you can upgrade an exceptional success to 3 successes instead of 5. You can take that one twice, and then it applies for the entire freaking scene. That's gross. That would be a fantastic thing for a politics thing. Or dealing with wolves, or talking your way out of trouble. You're like, yeah, for the rest of the scene, we to get exceptional successes to bullshit.
Yeah. I thought we had talked about another tactic.
You did. You talked
a social one.
You talked about a social one, but you guys never decided exactly what you wanted it to do. It kept flip-flopping a lot, and it kind of ended up on the shelf, and we never touched it again. And then you ended up putting money into something else.
Okay, I see.
So we could do something.
It turned out that our hit and run tactic was going to cost more than we thought it was.
That could be it. Yeah. That makes sense.
So I mean, we could do something like that. You could also buy up some more stats for your pack. So
well, I'm looking at the merits there. Like, I kind of would like to boost the safe place, or like just our den defenses, kind of.
How many points can that go up to for safe space?
That's a good question. I think.
I think it can go up to like a 5-point merit.
I think it can.
I thought safe space didn't go up that high.
Well, actually, I think that's safe place is generally a weird one because it depends on what book you're looking at. Because some of them have it split up where you put, like, you split it into like multiple things, like size, safety, like size, defenses, luxury, that sort of thing, and each one has more points in it. But I don't. I know that's how the Hunter book does it. I don't remember how all the other books do it.
So then there's Den, which you have a 1 to 5. You have it at 4 presently, and I've kind of played up with you guys having tons of room there. Directed Rage is an interesting one that you guys were talking about. Territorial Advantage is another good one. You could also grab the Chronicles of Darkness book, Kelly. It's right there. You can do it. Okay.
Got this. Nice.
Just reach under the camera. It's fine. Safe space.
Safe.
Yeah, it's a 1 to 5. So mechanically, what it does is it means that efforts to breach the safe space suffer a penalty equal to the merit dots. Yeah, it's you're booby trapping. So then other things that you could purchase that would be pretty easy would be
I remember. I thought there was another one that had to do.
I guess you could buy status.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you guys can't because you haven't earned it, but like you could eventually. Someday soon. What else? Retainer, resources.
Because yeah, safe place gives initiative bonus equal to the merit dots should the location come under attack. Bonus only applies to a character with dots invested in the safe place if we pick them that way. But I guess if we did it to the pack, it would apply to everybody.
Yeah, it applies to everybody. That's one of the bonuses of pack stuff. Oh, hey, Precarious. Oh, hey, it's Joe. Jodo and Precarious are raiding right now. Hey, guys.
Hey,
we're doing Werewolf pack update and talky stuff. So, hi, welcome. And also, guys, if you have any experiences on your character sheet, this would be a good time if you wanted to look at anything you wanted to buy. Like if you
doing that right now.
I
yeah,
have
like seriously,
2 beats because I've been throwing it all at
you have.
my
So
flanking merit
for the
that I
rest
want.
of you, if you were looking to purchase any gifts or anything, now's the perfect time to buy gifts in Renown where it can be swept under the rug. And you just take it. Oh, you've been buying stuff.
I know. I've been spending all my stuff.
You could have had that flanking merit for a while now.
No.
If you hadn't bought the Renown.
Yeah, but that made sense at the time, and I needed to buy up Cunning 2 to get it. I required Cunning 2.
Oh, okay.
Like, I needed to buy Renown to get it. It was going to be expensive anyway.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want. I have a fefeeling what I need to do, honestly, is find time where I can sit down with a physical book instead of trying to look through a PDF.
Yeah.
What's your highest Renown?
and look through it. My highest?
Yeah.
Cunning 3.
Do you have the 3rd level New Moon?
You should get it
You
automatically.
get it automatic. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so then you have Cunning 3.
Yes, I would have, because that is... Yeah, because it's Eviscerate, Slip Away, Relentless Hunter. Gift,
so you should consider getting... What are your gift lists? So you've got Insight, Knowledge...
Wait, what?
Tech.
Yeah.
Your specific gift lists. So.
Knowledge... Shaping?
Oh.
Shaping, yeah, okay.
And Tech are the shadow gifts.
Okay.
New Moon, Evasion, and Stealth are the other ones.
Okay, so looking at those real quick. Garble.
I've already got that.
You got Garble, okay. What do you have besides Cunning?
I've got Feet of Mist and Garble for...
What do you have besides Renown for Cunning?
1 point of Wisdom.
So you could also get...
I started with everything in Cunning.
You could get Iron Slave.
What?
You immerse your senses into a machine and are able to perceive its surroundings. You can allow the machine or vehicle to continue operation as normal, or take direct control of it. You can pilot vehicles with your brain.
Okay.
Or drones, or anything. So that's crazy. So then there's also... let's find. Gift of Stealth. You already have the Cunning one, right? Shadow... Oh, wait, which... Do you have any of the Stealth ones? Because Shadow Pelt is pretty great, where you...
No, I haven't taken any Stealth.
When this facet
I've only got what I took at the beginning.
When this facet is activated, the Uratha may treat a number of stealth rolls equal to your Cunning as rote. Or alternatively, Running Silent, where for the facet's duration, you reduce all damage from falling and all penalties to athletics and movement inflicted by your wisdom. That's pretty great. Then Shaping, Moldy Warp you could take. Only can use it in Dalu, but your hands transform into
Can be
basically...
a burrowing monster.
What's that?
Basically become a burrowing...
Yeah, they turn into shovels.
Yeah, you burrow.
And then Sculpt is the other one where any object becomes like clay. What else is there? So there's Gifts of Knowledge. Needle. Deliberately hidden knowledge is like finding a needle in a haystack. It has a duration of a month. You can choose a single piece of information that you are in the presence of, a copy of, and pray... Oh, that's great. You literally say, like, all right, cool. So I am in the vicinity of someone and their PIN number for their ATM card. They're going to lose it for a month. You hide a piece of information for a month. That's pretty great. And then you could also get Sift the Sands, which is... Oh, you basically do a data search on stuff that if you're in a place of knowledge, like a library, you're like, okay, I need to find a book on platypuses written by a guy named Edward, but he's using a pseudonym. I don't know the pseudonym. And then you walk to a shelf and pick it up, and you're like, haha! It had the wrong dust jacket on it. Did anybody have inspiration?
I do.
And your renowns are what again? They're glory,
glory 2, honor 2, wisdom 1.
Nice.
And
so you bought pack triumphs together already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have been thinking about gifts, but I also have enough XP for a dot of renown if I wanted one.
You might as well get that free gift, right?
Yeah. Well, except the free gift is meh to me, but it gets me further along, I guess.
Yeah.
It's Dream Hunter.
Which one's that? Oh, what's that?
It doesn't matter that the prey hides behind thick walls. It doesn't matter how many guards and traps they have set between themselves and their hunters. When they sleep, when they dream, it is then that the Kahalath comes for them.
So you literally become Freddy Krueger.
I remember you saying this one. You mentioned this one, didn't you? Have you mentioned this one before?
No, I do have a
Oh.
prophetic dream ability
Oh, okay.
that has been talked about that I keep forgetting I have.
Mhm.
But this is specifically the Give Us Moon gift for level 3 glory. It can only be activated when I have the Siskerda condition, and on a success, I follow the dream spoor of her prey into his subconscious. The prey experiences this as a terrifying wolf that flits through his dreams, and he will remember this when he awakens. And I can choose an effect.
Nice.
Dreams become predatory nightmares, forcing the prey awake. He regains no willpower from resting and gains the exhausted condition. The Kahalith maintains a distant but unnerving presence that plants the seeds of fear, inflicting the paranoid condition. The prey's dreams are shaped with essence, rendering him an inviting target for spirits. He gains the open condition. Or the Kahalith hunts through the dream for fragmentary thought beasts and figments, discovering one of the following about the prey: roughly where the prey is in the physical world, his blood and bone, or vice and virtue, or other equivalent traits, any steps he is taking to try and protect himself from the hunt, an impression of his immediate surroundings. The only thing is that none of our Siskerdas have ever really lasted long enough to use something like that, because we're always like, we must continue the sacred hunt, and apparently if you stop, then you're no longer on the ssacred hunt.
Yeah, you always
And
have to be
that's-
acting towards it. So it's kind of weird how those. I don't understand how those things work. Because it says you can't stop.
Yeah, it says you can't stop, which means we've never rested for it, because we've always assumed that Siskerda will just end.
Yeah.
I
So
thought you could have hunts that lasted multiple days, but you have to be actively. You can't like take downtime to go do stuff yourselves. Like you have to be working.
yeah, you
towards
can't check
it.
your phone. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, but that means that there's no rest. I can't then necessarily sleep and do this. I mean, I could, because it'd be actively working towards
No.
I
it.
guess if you were actively
But-
deciding that you were going to sleep to be able to do this enough to continue it,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
but the rest of us
we're
couldn't really sleep.
no, I think we're overthinking it. I think that wolves, when they chase prey over a long distance, will rest and take breathers, so long as it is your
yeah.
driving goal. So long as we treat it like a marathon, right? Like people just keep going in a marathon, but like you get my idea, right? Like a cross country trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of what I assumed in the beginning, but then we never treated it that way. So
A lot of your stuff's
Because
been really
whenever
local.
we read it, it basically said you couldn't stop.
Yeah.
If you stopped, it ended. Like that's just the way it read.
Let's assume that just means that
So-
you can't dedicate yourself to anything else that requires concentration except for the hunt.
Yeah, like I'm not allowed to go do a research paper for my school assignment in the middle of a sacred hunt, but perhaps I could maybe eat dinner.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It depends on the pack, probably, whether or not
Yeah.
that's an acceptable thing, right? We
And
don't
whether
eat until we kill it.
Or the urgency of how much do we actually need to get this done immediately, or is this going to be a long trek? Like, is it-
yeah.
I think it'll be kind of determining a
yeah.
little more case by case.
I guess also a question.
Mhm.
Can you give me any examples of what sort of thing I would have to do to gain cunning for?
Oh God.
Are we going to be allowed to get up to that level at all?
By the end of season 3, yes.
Okay. Just because, like, that's kind of the gift I want, is the level 4 moon gift.
So to do cunning 4, that would be. Let me see if they have any
'Cause
good
that's
examples.
divide and conquer, and that's fantastic. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Using legal loopholes to secure the deed to a territory sounds like a pretty good one. Baiting spirits away from a powerful locus. I think it'd be scale on some of these. Convincing the pure's wolf-blooded to bug their territory. Seems like a pretty sizable one. Luring prey into a trap. Of course, that would be like a huge prey or a lot of prey, like a pure pack. Tricking a spirit into accepting an unbalanced deal. So basically, it would just have to be. Remember what your last renown was bought for, and it has to be even bigger than that. which is why I've kind of leaned on asking you guys to really think of like how you got this renown, because each one has to build and be bigger than the last.
That's fair. It's just hard because they're the character creation ones.
Yeah.
Like they're all from character creation. I haven't actually done
And
anything with it
unfortunately,
yet.
second edition World of Darkness, or Chronicles of Darkness, hasn't provided as many examples as First Ed did. First Ed had tons of examples. It ate up a lot of word count, but it made the game easier to run. You know? So, I mean, think about it. But not yet. The answer is not yet.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I might actually spend my XP on other gifts and not worry about renown. I mean, I know I was kind of going that, but honestly, it's not what Brighton's really focused on right now,
Okay.
because I have enough that I could get. I think I already have one inspiration. Come on. One inspiration gift, I think. Oh, stupid computer. No,
So-
go where I tell you to.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I'm just looking at the half moon gift.
Half Moon
The
Run?
5.1, the ties of blood and bone.
Mm,
When you succeed it, it's like you change places with a pack mate within 5 miles of you.
Okay, the 5 dot for New Moon gift is fantastic. It's Breach. You slip across a gauntlet like a shadow.
Oh.
Hey,
No look is
congratulations.
needed.
You're using the witch stride. Good job. You're basically a predator king.
Like, but yeah, no, in a moment of shifting flesh and bone, the Ailadoth and packmate simply become each other, exchanging places. Both retain all garb and equipment they were previously carrying. This facet does not give the Ailadoth awareness of his packmate's condition or situation before the exchange. But you can have other stuff to do that. You sure can. Be like, oh no, that person's in trouble. Swap.
Oh no, they weren't in trouble. Their blood pressure and heart rate were raised for a different reason. You decide.
Well, there's one where you can literally like determine how, like, feel how much damage someone else has taken. Is where I was going with that. But yeah, that's also an option, I suppose, if you really
Yeah,
want to.
then you have to take their math test for them.
Yep.
What'd you think I was saying?
You knew exactly what you were saying.
I know, because I think that would be freaking hilarious if
That'd be
done.
Awkward.
Oh, awkward and very, very wrong if you round up the, like, you know, the emotional
Yeah.
impact of it. But like, still,
Absolute
from like
disaster.
the 80s comedy aspect of it is pretty good.
I
I
wanted-
was thinking of getting Cunning 2 because I wouldn't be able to get Purity 4.
Okay, so Cunning 2, how'd you get it? What'd you do?
But that's a good question. That
You shirked your responsibility with the
another tale
baby?
For another time.
That's a
That's
tale for
okay.
another time. If you can think of
Yeah.
it during the downtime before next game, go ahead.
That's okay.
That's my rule. So go ahead and do
Okay.
that. You get a free gift with that.
Okay, I'd like to get Unchained. The gift of strength with Cunning.
Yeah, do it. What does it do?
Nice. Oh, yeah. Add Cunning to a grappling roll or shatter any restraint or binding.
Nice.
Reflexive.
You just want to show off because your
It's
boyfriend's a
flexing all
cop.
over the place.
It's just like you're like, hey, handcuff me to the railing. Psh, do the dishes forever, or else that's you.
Perfect.
That's how
Terrifying.
you assert dominance.
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's-
Also, sorry, one more time, how much is that again?
That's a great question.
Sorry. I'm really bad at costs.
I know, we're all sleepy.
I know that I
I'm
can afford
sorry.
it because I have like 12 XP because I haven't spent anything
Oh,
really.
That's good.
jeez.
Also, chat, thanks for sticking with us on this. I know this is one of the slow parts of viewership, but you get to see the internal, like the back catalog. Okay, so buying a Pure Renown is 3 experiences.
It's 5. Oh no, it's 3. You're right.
It's
Sorry.
3. Like, that's
Primal
weird.
Urge is 5. Primal Urge
It
is 5.
feels like it should be higher than that, but it's not. I think it used to be 5 times, right? I think in First Ed.
Probably. Primal Urge is 5, and that's what I was thinking of.
Okay. So it costs you
It actually
3
means I could afford renown and a gift, but
Bing. Double gift power. Also, you could buy rights. Don't forget rights.
Yeah, there
I'm
was
looking at
really
rights right now.
spoke to me,
Hey,
but
Kelly, can you tell me what page inspiration gifts are on? I clicked something and lost my page in the book, and now I can't find
Yeah, I absolutely can. That's merits, so you don't want to go there. Inspiration, if you're using the PDF, it's probably one page higher than this, but it would
That's
be 125 or so, right around there.
Thank you.
Yeah, 125, 126, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Rituals that could be good. I'm sad that they didn't bring a lot of the rituals from first edition over.
Yeah.
Hunting Ground is a pretty good one.
I have that.
Oh, you have that already? Okay. Wellspring, Raiment of the Storm, Supplication. I mean, some of you could take, if you really wanted to, for 1 XP, you could all take the Father's Form. If I'm not mistaken. It's a werewolf gift, or it's a wolf gift. It is a gift of the hunter.
The one where we go into Garu without risking death rage.
Father's Form, yeah. It's the purity one. You may take Garu without constant attack or risk falling into Karuth.
I
Yeah,
would need
I'm
to
gonna
get
do
purity.
Yeah, we can't all take it. We need purity
Yeah,
done.
that's fair.
I would need to get purity.
Oh, well, I have
Which
like,
maybe
a lot of that.
I'm kind of looking at it because there's a couple of like the fighting merits. And I'm like, that kind of be nice, but I don't know.
Luna's Embrace allows you to swap physical body parts as much as you want. Well, that's the wrong way to say that. Quicksilver Flesh is something that would be good. Luna's Embrace, the way that it's written is it allows you to change sex at will. So that's, you could be your own brother.
It's kind of freaky.
It would be very convenient.
I would just rather be a different version of myself. Thanks.
I'd be okay with this, but I don't have a big enough closet. Seriously, I want to have some dresses.
I think I'm gonna pick up 2 more inspiration gifts.
God.
Do
All
it.
right, do it. Father's Form is good. Quicksilver Flesh is also really good. In fact, Caitlin, do you have any wisdom?
No.
Okay. You may want to consider that in the future because it allows you to change a portion of your form to match another. So you can.
Instead of maybe doing Cunning 2, I could do Wisdom 1, and then I could take that, and then take another, and then take Unchained anyway.
That's true. It would cost you an extra 1 XP.
That's fine. I'll still have 7 left. Even if I take the Father's Form.
Oh no, it would cost you an extra 2 XP. Don't do it.
I'll still have 6.
Oh wait, no, you already have strength, so it'll cost you 1 more. Okay. So take a look at Quicksilver Flesh. It's on page 137. And basically,
Okay.
you gain other things, but you could also, because you have that ability to do the super bite, you now could spend an essence to transfer that bite to any form.
Oh, okay.
So you took it like super bite in Dalu, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it would be the same bite. Is it a +2 or a +3 for you?
2, I think?
Okay, so it'd be the same as your Garu form, basically.
Which is still pretty cool.
Unless...
But if I take the Father's Form, then I don't risk rage anyway.
That's true. One thing that you could consider is if you bought Quicksilver Flesh, you could always change your merit over into your Garu form to enhance that. I'd allow you to push it in there, and then you could summon into your other forms and just be even more disgusting. So it's a little bit of retroactive building, but it also means that the merit points they feel slightly wasted once you buy that ability, because then you could have that bite no matter what for an essence.
Yeah.
Because what is that? That bite is ridiculous. Efficient killer. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. It's spiritual blockage is so good. Living weapon. Oh, that's right. It gives you armor piercing. That's what it does. Did you take it at 5 dots?
4, I think.
So you do 2 armor piercing and a +1.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn, son. Yeah. So
Actually,
there's many things you can do.
yeah.
So I'm taking the glory and the wisdom facets of inspiration.
Okay.
Glory is the Uratha is the big bad wolf, the fiercest of predators. She cannot afford to falter in the face of her prey, no matter how terrifying, and must lead by example. So for an essence, for the duration of one scene, I can add my glory renown to all dice pools contesting mind-influencing powers and fear, as well as to my composure and resolve when resisting such effects. If I succeed at contesting such a role, any other packmates who can see me and who are subject to the same effect automatically withstand the effect as well.
So you're saying you want more vampires in game? Got ya.
No, I'm saying
No.
I want to fight the Agora.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's good. Do it.
So
do it.
I'm looking at rights here, and I know I can't get them yet, but there's one that I kind of want, which is the Great Hunt, which, on a success, the rights at the rights culmination, all human and wolf-blooded members of the pack immediately shift into Urhan form, gaining the full range of bonuses that the form offers. And the sense of a werewolf and regeneration as if they had Primal Urge 1. They also gain the ban condition until the sun rises. They are compelled to hunt the pack's prey. Taking part in the Great Hunt is an integrity breaking point for humans, but not wolf-blooded.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
I kind of want to save up for that.
It costs 1 XP. Save up.
It's a 5 bot right. I think it costs more, doesn't it? Isn't it?
Nope. Rights are 1 XP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
Even-
just a.
I don't think you have to buy them in sequence. So, I mean, double
there's
check
not
me
like,
on that.
well, there's not like a set sequence to them, but there's multiple dots in them, so I feel like it would be like 1 per dot, wouldn't it?
Oh, we got a guy. I'll take care of it.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you take care of it. I can't for some
I
reason.
got it.
Oh,
I got it. Once it just got rid of the chat screen. Damn it. Sorry.
Should I buy followers? Nah.
No.
Yeah, that helps you.
Bother with that.
I know. I'm kidding.
Did
but,
you?
like, I didn't get rid of it. Christine, can you? It doesn't appear like I'm able to click it at the moment, actually.
It did a weird thing when I went to the. There we go.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
Blech.
So where the hell's the hunting nature section? Because I gotta have you guys do a roll real quick.
Oh,
I can never
That's
find the damn thing.
pretty. I feel like that one's pretty early on.
Is it early in the book? Because this book, I like this book a lot.
but
it's not
kind of
organized.
annoying. Yeah, not that early. I'm too early. Okay, hold on.
You worry about you. Okay.
Well, I don't have any experience that I can spend, so I'm just
Okay,
like
so you
shopping
look for it.
myself, kind of like.
Troop play, hunting nature. Hunting nature. Okay.
Hey.
So, what have you guys done in this scene? Killed with natural weaponry. Except in Garu. Not really. Eaten raw meat. Not really. Sleep and feed primarily outside over a week. Not really. Mark territory with natural scents and bodily fluids. Not really. Kill with human-made weapons except in Garu.
Yeet.
Have you killed anything with a normal weapon? Not really.
I think it's
Not
usually
really.
us.
Slept and fed primarily with human dwellings over a week. Ding.
Yep.
Eat processed food. Ding.
Mhm.
Mark territory with symbols or tags. Ding.
Yep.
Oh, guys, I think you guys are moving towards the human one. Because right now you were nothing before, right?
Yeah.
So, how does this work? On the beginning of each lunar cycle, the pack's hunting nature surges and fluctuates. Rolls a dice pool equal to the current value of the hunting nature track. Okay. The pack's lunar cycle need not start new or fully new. It can start in any phase. So, you will move. Where's 0? Okay. So, do I roll the number of things in the action? Because it says you roll They must roll a chance dice. Well, what are the points of the actions then? The current value of the hunting nature track. You are on the 0 box. You must roll a chance dice. Yes, but you have all of these actions that are in line with hunting nature. So, what are the actions? What are they good for? Okay, every action. Okay, so technically, I guess that would be, say that's 3. Who wants to be the... Jen, guess what? You're rolling. Do you have dice?
No.
Okay.
I have dice right here.
All right, Christine.
I have an app, but...
All
What
right.
am I rolling?
You're rolling 3 dice.
That's a 9, an 8, and a 6.
Okay.
Yes. Rights are 1 experience per dot of the right. For a 5 dot, it would be 5 experiences.
Oh, actually. Wait, what happens when your hunting actions tie? Because you guys have killed Ngaru, you've successfully completed the Siskerda, and had more than 3 pack mates engaged in Basuim together.
Isn't there one that lets you not be nothing, but it's like balanced? I thought there was like
That's
a
the werewolf
third.
one.
Werewolf one.
Oh.
That's like the ideal one, isn't it?
Pack actions
Yeah.
can also be werewolf nature.
Mm-hmm.
Non-werewolf move it back down towards 0. Okay, cool. So that explains it. So you have to do specifically werewolf only. So it's hard to get werewolf. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to be in the human track.
Okay.
You gain the hunting nature appropriate. You did not get an exceptional success. So the human hunting nature means the following. You value preparation and practice over blind instinct. The pack relishes the thrill of a well-executed scheme where everyone performs their roles as rehearsed. Hey, good night, Precarious. The pack can spend experiences to learn, develop, and use pack tactics of any dot rating. The pack gains a pool of willpower points equal to the number of Uratha each lunar cycle. Any packmate can use this. And then beat. The pack can sometimes have difficulties with actions that rely on instincts. When rolling dice using physical dice skills, you can choose to suffer a -2 dice to this roll to gain a beat. I'm going to say that's once per scene. That seems more reasonable. So you guys can mine beats now.
Nice.
Boom! That's easy. Okay, guys.
Mining.
So does anybody want to do anything, any other tactics, anything else? You want to buy anything else up? You want to
I
buy
was trying to find where the den info is because
Den info is in the pack.
Oh, it's in the pack book. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Gotcha.
So the den basically functions as follows. If I can find the right page.
While you're looking for that, I just want to mention: have you guys seen the chain rage? Right?
I looked at it. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
What does it
It's
do?
like, well, it's you do the right, and then it binds a container or focus to each participant, such as like a bottle or a piece of chain. And as long as we keep that focus about us, then achieving 5 turns of lucidity during a period of Wasuim, not continuous, immediately ends the rage. At the end of the month, or should the focus be broken or taken, we immediately enter Wasuim.
Thankfully,
Ooh.
Wasuim is not as bad, but yeah.
It's true. It's
Still.
true. Though I am taking the gift. The other inspiration gift is the wisdom one, still small voice, where I can use against any number of Uratha in Wasuim, and if I succeed, I drag you out of Wasuim.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Nice.
We have 2 people who can do that now. Good. So den adds to your defense when you're attacked in your den is the big one.
So it's sort of like safe place, but not quite.
Well, it's safe place that applies to defense rather than
Yeah.
initiative.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Because that was at 4, right? So we could
yeah.
bump that up to 5 if we wanted to.
I think it would be good to bump it up because
Just
we're
max it.
spending more time here. the kids here.
Yeah, like we would be shoring up defenses with how many people are currently like living there.
Okay, 10-5 it is. Filling it
Okay.
in. Okay.
Were we going to upgrade that
That tactic?
to overkill
Yeah.
or whatever it was? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Was there anything else?
How much do we have left after that?
You have 7 left.
Oh.
Do we want to have one that's like a politics, social maneuvering kind of tactic?
I think that would
Start
wrap
working
us out.
towards?
I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of feel like we should because we are Iron Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hunt in that way. Well, most of us are Iron Masters. The majority of us are Iron Masters.
Yeah.
And that's the way we hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a lot of ways is that way.
So
Which we
what,
haven't really been doing much of. But
what you should do is basically I'm going to give you 2 different tracks to pick from. You tell me
Okay.
what we're going to be. We're basically going to play like pachinko to figure out like what you want to do with this. Okay.
Okay.
You can social maneuvering or a roll.
I kind of want to go the roll way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What skill?
Did we want to do politics?
So you could do politics, any social skill. You could do investigation as well. Don't forget that you can make investigation
True.
tactics.
Yeah, because like I'm just looking at what I have for like my auspice skills, and like I mean I get 9 again on investigation, so maybe that's something would be that I could help with that.
So
But
if you wanted to do 2 tactics, you have the XP for it. You could do an investigation one that literally does. Let's see, what an investigation one, call it Clue Hound. You could all work together to gain an exceptional success on 3.
That's
For
pretty useful. We've been having to do a lot of investigation
I've got a
stuff
dot of
lately.
investigation.
for
Which I should probably
2
buy that up.
Mhm.
for 2 experiences, you could get it so that if you do the tactic correctly, all of you gain exceptional success on 3 for the scene.
That's not bad.
That's
not bad.
ridiculously good.
Mhm.
You could also take that and socialize. We call it party animal, and it means that you become the life of the party at frat parties or wherever you're headed.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe that's not the most relevant right now.
Yeah.
Or is it? No.
I like
So-
the investigation or the politics are the ones that I'm very much leaning towards, especially because we've been using so much investigation lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
But also but the politics side being that we are having to negotiate with other packs and do politicking stuff might be something to at least maybe side like bench as an idea for the future, or like maybe do investigation first and then lean into the politics in the future. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So you could also take. You could do one that implies conditions on people as well. Do you want to take investigation one?
I
think that-
like.
Yeah, it's a lot of what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the dice pool?
So
Intelligence and investigation.
Oh.
Composure and investigation.
I'm good with composure because that's my better skill. But
I have
Um,
1 in both int and composure, so
Wits and investigation seems like it's not really good for doing deep investigation though.
no.
Yeah.
Resolve
Resolve an investigation.
and investigation could work.
Yeah, like that's
Cover
something
and
that would work for me.
I'm good with that.
I'm
Fine.
really good with that. That's my 5.
Yeah, I've got 3 dots in that.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
that'll
great.
take a little while longer to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where we hit the books and keep hunting till we find the answer.
Yeah.
Can we do
that-
Sacred Right on investigation? Cracks knuckles, book time.
Oh gosh.
Sacred Hunt?
Yeah, technically.
Kinda.
All right, so that
Funny.
is.
The target of the hunt is information.
I'm calling it Clue Hound. You can change it if you want.
That's adorable.
Oh,
That's
I like
great.
it.
Okay. So you guys still have 5 more experiences.
And that's did we want to upgrade any other of the like pack merits. Are we able to increase dedicated locus? Or is that locus just set?
You can by milling it slowly.
Okay.
It takes a while. In theory, yes. So general merits they suggest are allies, contacts, fame, resources, or status are the primary ones.
Okay. Maybe resources? Or...
You could take allies with other packs.
True, we could.
You could take contacts in other packs, which you kind of been using anyway.
Yeah. Do we want to take a point of contacts to justify our growing contacts that we've been building?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if we necessarily call any of them allies, except for except for that one pack.
The Blackbirds?
No, the one we're
The Silence?
helping.
Oh yeah. You're talking about Storm Song.
Yeah.
Storm Song, yeah, because we're helping them out actively. So maybe.
Do you want to take Storm Song as allies?
Because we've been actively working with them
Yep.
and doing and sharing, not just sharing information, but that would make sense to me.
At how many points?
Maybe just one for now, unless there's a reason to do more.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other would be potentially Riley's pack.
Yeah.
We've
Black.
given them good information and received information. I mean, from the one
So-
guy in the pack, but it,
Mm-hmm.
he wouldn't necessarily be doing that without his alpha's allowance.
So allies basically give you you can make a roll to get favors out of them, and they can call you for favors too.
Yeah.
Level of the favor
So-
is kind of
And we can take allies from multiple different packs, right? Like we
Yeah,
can
that's
have
how you do it.
allies,
Yep.
Storm Song, allies, Blackbirds kind
Yep.
of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And then contacts is more amorphous, but you usually have
Yeah.
to pay for the information.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can do that. So you're at you have 3 left.
Okay.
You do not have to spend them all if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. And we upgraded. We did Den 5. We did. I'm just making note of what
I've
we
got Den
upgraded.
5. Yep.
So both Storm Song and Blackbirds are at allies 1.
I haven't. Did you guys want Blackbirds at Allies 1?
Yeah, I think so. They're right
Yeah,
beside
I'm okay
us.
with that.
And we've already been talking to them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 1 and 1. Okay.
Do we want to do a contact in
3, 4, 5.
somewhere, one of the other packs that we're sort of reaching out to? Or
Contacts will cover. I have contacts werewolves.
oh, okay. Okay.
So
general. Okay.
that's general. It means that you know how to reach them, and then it's a roll based on things.
Okay.
You have 1 dot in that, so you basically
Okay.
were going to roll, I believe it's manipulation plus persuasion plus the dot. You have 2 experiences left. Because
Do
I
we
forgot
want to
that.
save that for now?
There's nothing in particular that I can think of off the top of my head right now, so
Yeah.
it might be worth it just to save for now.
Okay, so I have written down that you have 2 remaining. All right, so guys, that's going to be it for that stuff. You still have the complication new pack. Spiritual, you still need a spiritual touchstone for the pack. You guys never did figure that out, so think about that,
alright.
as well as a medium term. Do you guys think that you've reclaimed No Wolf's Land?
I don't.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
No, it's still
We have-
up in the air. We've been exploring it, investigating it, but it's definitely taking us longer than I think we anticipated.
So I'm just gonna limb here, and
1
so
year.
you didn't have a medium term aspiration. I'm just gonna put solve Val's murder.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Because if I remember the timeline on those, it like short term was like a year or like a couple months to a year, and then medium was
Yeah.
supposed to be like maybe
And
2,
your long
then
term is
long was gonna be, like, several.
reclaim former glory as an alpha pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna.
And you have the
That is-
brewery as a physical touchstone. Your
Yeah.
spiritual touchstone, you don't really have anything at the moment.
Because we don't count our totem as a touchstone. That doesn't make much
I
sense. does
don't
it?
believe you do now.
I don't think so.
But I think that's about it for us doing catch up tonight. As soon as we
Cool.
just figure out a quick touchstone idea.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd say for like the No Wolf's Land thing, we either have to actually like really lump it in with our territory and start like saying it's ours.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
guess-
I think weren't we talking about taking half and the other group taking
Right.
half?
The only problem there is how you're going to get to it because it's on the other side of the blackbirds.
I thought the part of the reclaiming it
touch
wasn't
with
necessarily
ours.
for us. It was like,
But doesn't part of it touch ours? That's
Yeah, I
why
thought
we
that was
were
the whole-
offering. Yeah. that's
Yeah,
why
we're
Well,
like
that
on
was
a
why,
corner.
'cause that's why they asked us.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Actually, it
think
might.
so. I
It's
thought
it's
we
like
were just
one
the
corner
only
of it.
ones- Oh, I thought we were just the only ones that would actually work with them.
Let me double check.
So otherwise-
I'll pull out the map.
Okay.
Boop,
Yeah, because I
boop.
thought it had been something like they'd
Very
pitched it
small
as,
corner.
hey, to these people in particular, you're bordering it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you want to work with us on this? And then we'll split it.
yeah.
It's kind of iffy. The map that I have has you guys bumping up against the shadow paws.
Can
And-
you relink that map? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't
Remember.
remember it.
So this is the map that I have right now. I'm gonna pop it in the chat. This may not be the most recent one though. So
Hmm.
Well, that's the one that I've been looking at. Yeah.
and the shadow paws, by the way, you could just honestly, if you wanted to start a fight with them, you could probably roll them pretty easily. The blackbirds territory there is a little more flexible at the bottom, so you could, in theory, expand yourself out a bit.
Right.
Most of where you've been dealing with recently has been in Carrisdale.
Where's.
Carrisdale is at the bottom there, right next to Marple.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah, this map
Carrisdale's
does not like. I feel like this map is wrong, but that's just because I don't know why.
I don't
I
know
didn't
either.
think we were. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
Thought No Wolf's Land extended further up, or for some reason I don't remember what I'm
Yeah.
going.
I thought
There
it was
is-
skinnier, I guess.
Yeah.
There is the original drawn map.
Uh,
604 and Shadowpaws got mixed around, but everything else is pretty accurate inside
Right,
of that.
okay.
So that's the one that I actually think I gave you a little more territory in the other map.
I don't remember then why necessarily what we were getting out of helping besides just
Being helpful.
doing something cool.
Allies.
Yeah, because I have this
thought we were supposed to
recollection
actually
of
get something.
yeah, and I have this recollection of we were offering a like place to retreat for them because we touched upon No Wolf's Land. Like just a
I don't remember.
corner of it, but that
Yeah, that
Ooh.
was my impression. But then, of course, I wasn't looking at a map at the time either.
yeah, same.
like I haven't had a map in front of me in probably like more than since before this season.
So, I mean,
Hmm. I
yeah,
think I
see.
thought,
I guess mentally, I thought it was a chunk of the Blackbirds area, like kind of right down the small middle there, like a narrow strip,
mhm.
or something.
so that it would have touched Shadowpaws and us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think map 1 that I sent out is a little easier for you guys to eventually fight your way around.
Yeah.
Because Shadowpaws are a bitch pack. You just take Oak Ridge and you're set. And then you'll have a little bit of conflict with 604, but
You already.
that's not going to be a thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's not a plot that I've been working on. Um, So, oh yeah, spirit touchstones. Well, either way, you can work something out and can expand your territory eventually. Just let the Blackbirds get killed. It's fine. The law of merits means you'll get your merit dot back. So, it's all
I
good.
like the blackbirds for the
But
most part.
you also
we
like
could
having...
absorb Riley into our pack.
That's true.
We
You
like
just take 'em.
Riley.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what we like.
Get Chris
about it,
Ross. Chris Ross
honestly.
can play him.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Or it was good, Hayden. Hayden, come play.
Come be a werewolf.
They would kill to play in a werewolf game. They really would, I think.
And we could just nip that little corner of Blackbirds there.
I mean, if you manage to secure them part of Kitsilano, you might be able to negotiate that. I think that might have been part of it, was that they were like, well, we're not going to go help, but if you guys want to talk, we can work something out, maybe.
So if we got them that extra corner of kits, then they'd give us maybe that corner of Riley Park.
Yeah. Which means that you get North Marple and Oak Ridge, which means you get a second mall. You get a mall that people actually go to. You get Sakura Media. You can go to your anime store. You can be Weebwolves.
Oh my god.
Or Wereweebs. Okay, what the hell am I looking
my
up, guys?
lord.
I'm looking
I
up.
don't know.
I'm looking up touchstones.
I mean, we could also get them Arbutus Ridge, and then we take South Canby. Or something, because, I mean, we can't claim any of No Wolf's Land. Not really. It's on the other side of, like... It's completely separated from our territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you wanted to move.
I mean, part of the reason that we were doing it was because we didn't know what caused No Wolf's Land in the first place, and it was like,
The mystery.
is this a threat that's coming at us from behind when there's also the pier coming at us from the outside?
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I know, Kate's reasoning for it, was we don't know what the fuck is in there. Where did they go?
Yeah, I think I mentally in the moment just thought, oh, yeah, it's touching both of our territories. I wasn't thinking that I was going to have to cross through Blackbirds to do it. So I'm not sure why they didn't complain, because we've been going through their territory constantly then.
I guess we have allies?
So, guys, the thing is that you need to figure out for your touchstone, and we'll do it before next game. You need to find basically like a sacred location, like something that's sacred to you. So, like the brewery locus room where Val died is one of them. So you'll need to think of another place nearby that is a defensible location, like somewhere that you will fight and potentially die to protect from other people desecrating. So keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
But besides that, I think we're kind of at a good place here. So unless, is there anything else anybody wants to discuss before the next season starts rolling?
I don't think so.
Or next season, next half of the season.
Next episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So we have upgraded your contacts, your allies, your den. We've bought a new merit, and we've bought an upgraded to an existing merit. So good job. You also have bought a ton of gifts.
I'll have to get that all written down somewhere so I can remember that we've got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll do that before next game. But I think this is where we should probably call it here, because 2 hours of crunching numbers and brainstorming is always exhausting. It's been a 5-hour session, guys. Good job. So, hey, thank you so much for tuning in for this behind-the-scenes update. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it's been at least somewhat interesting to watch how much back-end stuff goes into these games, because it's tiring. See.
Oh, sorry.
You're starting a yawn. How dare!
All right, so that's gonna be it for us tonight. We will see you tomorrow on Rime of the Frost Maiden. I hope you've enjoyed Werewolf. Be sure to tune in next Werewolf game, which is going to be on the 29th, right here on Dork Tales. Bye. Thank you. I needed that. Started to howl. Good night.